Now, Izzy, I heard a story one time where you tried to plant trim and messed my landscaping all up.
You know, let's not talk about the past, Mike. There's nothing good back there. Let's talk about the future. What's going on today? That's all about Arbor Day.
Arbor Day. All right, Izzy, this year we're celebrating the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day. I am excited about this.
Beautiful time.
What do you guys have here?
I've got me a birdhouse. I'm going to put it in a tree. You know, I really love trees. Did you know if you plant your trees correctly, between what they can do on the shading side of things and the wind side of things, they can save the Americans over $2 billion in utility costs.
Wow.
So I'm saying move over electric cars and come on down the road trees.
And I'm saying it's all about the interior plants and the interior greenery. This is going to help clean the air. It's going to help clean the dust. It's going to put healthy stuff into our. That's what these plants are.
That's poison ivy. That's poison ivy.
Oh, excuse me.
Keep that away from me.
This extravaganza is going to be one of a kind. 12 communities. Our extravaganzas are always the highlight of the spring, and it's not going to be any different this year.
And we have so many beautiful landscapes out there. You can come out and check out what we have going for you. You can get some ideas.
This is going to be
Now we got
great.
Luke and Tony here. What are you guys working on today?
This is the fastest growing trend in the country. It's gardening. Everybody wants fresh vegetables.
Yeah, I love gardening. I garden every year, and you know what? We're going to be giving away some seeds at these open houses.
I like it.
Everyone,
Come on, get them.
I mean, gardening is it. You've been doing gardening for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the above or the raised bed, that's the way to go for gardening.
I love
and
raised beds.
We're doing them all the time right
Such
now.
a clean look, and it's easy. Okay, Izzy, it looks like we got Kayla and Elizabeth coming in next here. What are you guys getting into today?
Well, flowers. I mean, everyone loves flowers right now. It's great to decorate with. You put it in the landscaping. There's so many things to talk about flowers. It's going to be awesome.
I love planting flowers too, and herbs. Let's not forget about herbs.
Yeah, those are great. What kind do you have there? You have
I've got
Izzy, my favorite thing about flowers is it gets me out of the doghouse whenever Kayla's mad at me.
My wife keeps saying she wants a Juliet rose, though. I'm not sure what that means.
I have no idea what that even is.
Welcome to Between the Studs. We are Granite Ridge Builders, custom builders serving northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, and also parts of southern Michigan. We have been building custom homes for almost 2 decades, and we're really passionate about what we do. So join us today as we explore the processes, the trends, and also tips that characterize today's new home. Thanks for watching.
Okay, guys, I think we did really, really well with our props here. Welcome back. Welcome to a really, really special edition of Between the Studs. It is our extravaganza, and we're going to have a theme this year. The theme is going to be growing with Granite Ridge Builders and planting your roots. We have over 8,000 people that have been growing with Granite Ridge and Between the Studs. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the things up here, but before we do that, where are we going to be having our houses at?
Well, we are really excited. It is this weekend. It's a free event through Granite Ridge Builders. We're in 12 different locations, and we have 30 homes. These homes are staged. Some of them are models. Many of them are available for sale, so they are move-in ready. And each home is going to have a special theme that goes along with what we're talking about today.
Well, we talk a lot about trends, and one of the biggest trends is gardening, herbs, flowers, landscaping. So we figured that we were going to introduce each segment with some of those amazing trends. And I think first, how about trees?
Yeah, guys, let's talk about Arbor Day. I'm super excited about this. We're celebrating the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day. It started back in the 1800s, 1872 to be exact. Wow. And then in 1907, President Theodore Roosevelt actually made a proclamation to school kids telling us how important trees are to our community. Mm-hmm. So you know that, this is an important thing if a president's talking about it. 100 years later, 1972, the Arbor Day Foundation was started, and then they've planted millions and millions of trees to where they distribute 10 million trees throughout the United States every single year.
Wow. Well, guess what? One of the biggest trends is gardening. As you can see, there's a lot of things that people are doing gardening. It makes you feel good, but also you can do what he's doing, which is eating my prop. There's a lot of fun facts that you're going to learn today about gardening. One is tomatoes. Did you know that this is the most popular vegetable in any garden is tomatoes? And also 60 million tons of tomatoes are produced each year. Wow. Also, I've got a really fun trick for you. You can take baking soda, put this in your soil every so often, and you can take a lot of the acidity out of a tomato.
That's pretty cool. Well, I love flowers, and flowers when it comes to perfumes are really important because there are about 1,000 flowers and 12 dozen roses that go into every bottle of Chanel No. 5. Wow. That is a lot of flowers and roses that you need just to make perfume, and there's many more than that. Most all perfumes have some sort of floral scent to them, so they're really important, but they're also pretty, and I love to get them. Hint, hint, like some flowers, but.
Well, the the top 4 flowers in the United States that are sold are going to be roses, lilies, orchids, and daisies. And so all 4 of those make up the top 4 sales in the United States. And did you know that vanilla, but you like this in my pancakes and flowers and baking, all kinds of stuff for vanilla, actually comes from the orchid pod. So I didn't realize that's where it came from, but it's where vanilla comes from.
I like vanilla though.
Now guys, back to trees. Do you have any idea how many trees it takes to build one of our Granite Ridge homes?
3.
A little more than that. It takes around 40 to 44 trees. And when we say trees, we're talking like 80-foot tall pine or fir trees. And it takes about 6 decades for those trees to grow that big. So doing some simple calculations here, that means there's 2,600 years of tree growth to build one house. Now, I've had the luxury to go up to like Northwest United States and walk the land where a lot of our trees come from and see the forest. Now, we do what's called responsible timbering. There's actually more trees growing in that area of the United States today than there was 100 years ago, even with all the houses we're building.
That's why it's so important to have trees around your property, grow trees at different places. This is really, really good one today.
Now, when I cook, it never fails. I'm missing an ingredient. So listen to this substitution. If you're cooking and you don't have an onion, you can use a tulip bulb. Ooh. Who would have thought? So they're a little more expensive and the flavor isn't quite as good, but there's one substitution for you. Now, when you're out on this home tour, we have giveaways at every house. So every house is going to have a theme, which is exciting. That's kind of a Granite Ridge difference to make it a little more fun when you're out looking at houses. So there's giveaways, there's seed packets. So you might pick up some vegetables or some flowers.
And Elizabeth, don't forget, we're giving away a tree this year. That's our grand prize for the tour.
Guys, I have to admit, I'm getting a little emotional today because we're talking about trees. Because there would be no Between the Studs if it weren't for trees.
Wait, that's a good point.
Anyway. Hey, by the way, here's an interesting fact. Trees do not grow from the ground up. They actually grow from the top. I know it's kind of hard to figure that out, but here's the point. If you put your birdhouse in the trees, say at this level, probably 5 years, 10 years, even 50 years from now, because I know it's going to be at basically the same level.
What?
Figure that one out.
Okay.
Oh, wait, so it grows from the top, not
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Before we do we break off, here's what I want to do. What are the state tree and the state flowers for Indiana? Does anybody know? State tree is the tulip tree. State flower is the peonies tree. And then also Ohio, because we build a lot in Ohio, state tree over there is, guess what?
Everybody knows that one.
No, they don't. The Buckeye.
Buckeye tree. What good is a Buckeye tree?
Aren't all Buckeyes nuts?
And Mike is from Ohio.
We're a little nutty over there, but aside from it's just obvious beauty of a Buckeye tree, it's good for making furniture. A lot of them have a lot of aesthetics that you could put into your landscaping. The Buckeye nut is a beautiful little thing that you can use in decorating, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's poisonous too, just so you know.
Don't eat it.
No. And then the state flower over in Ohio is a scarlet carnation.
Well, that's kind of strange because ours is the peonies, which Van Wert is the peonies capital of the world.
Yeah.
And scarlet's a little more associated with IU, isn't it?
Good point.
Yeah. Oh, and guys, don't forget about our neighbors to the north. We build a lot of houses in Michigan. Michigan state tree is the eastern white pine. We use a lot of pine in our houses. And then their flower is the apple blossom.
Okay, I think you got a little taste of what we're going to be doing today, so let's talk a little bit about more about the houses and the communities that we're going to feature. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this show.
Can I take this?
All right, you absolutely. Let's have some. It's cucumbers and also some fruit.
Yeah. Oh, you've never tried it?
No, I've never eaten
But
it.
it tastes.
Granite Ridge Builders invites you to the Spring New Home Extravaganza. We have over 12 locations, 30 homes available on this tour.
And as I understand it, Elizabeth, we have 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom homes. We have some homes with 3-car garages, and they're actually under construction or complete, and they're actually for sale.
They're for sale. It is this Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5, a free event by Granite Ridge Builders, the New Home Extravaganza. Visit our website, graniteridgebuilders.com, for more information.
Izzy, did you know that they've put some preservative on this, that this rose is supposed to last an entire year?
That's really crazy.
I don't know. It reminds me of Beauty and the Beast rose or something like that. I love it.
Well, the most expensive rose, though, is the Juliet rose. And the Juliet rose is dubbed the $3 million rose because the inventor of it spent 15 years and $4.3 million producing the rose. Although I found it online for $79.
Okay, well, we'll go that route for sure. Well, I love flowers, and one of my favorites is tulips. And in the 1600s, 1800s in Holland, tulips were more valuable than gold. But I think that kind of relates to our houses because our houses right now are, to me, more valuable than gold.
They are, and it's a very unique time that we're living in with prices rising and costs going up with new construction. It is a rare time that as you build a home, by the time it's finished, it is definitely worth more than you bought it for.
Absolutely. Now come out to this tour this weekend because there are so many houses to see. And Izzy, you're going to be sitting in Sienna Reserve, which is out southwest. What are they going to be able to find when they come see you?
I've got 2 or 3 amazing homes to come see. A lot of the homes that I have are story and a half, so you got the master on the main, bedrooms up. I even have a walkout basement. I have verandas, and as well, I have 4 amazing villas that you'll get to see with our partner in crime, Vilma, is going to be out there to show those homes.
Now, I love the villa section because that's more of a maintenance-free living, which is awesome. Now, we have villas, we have single-family homes, we have homes ready for sale right now, but don't forget, we have a brand new section going in that you can build your own house too. So this tour is for everything and everybody, so come out. We'd love to see you this weekend.
I'm so glad Amber doesn't like those Juliet roses.
Oh, that's probably a good thing. We can save a little bit. Just go to Kroger, they're great.
Yep.
Luke, I have been so impressed over the last few years. You talking to me about your gardening and your vegetable gardens and how great it's been going. So right now, this time of year, what is the ones to be planting?
Yeah, so right now, we haven't had Mother's Day yet, so there's still a chance of frost. So you want the hardier type plants. So you're talking peas, radishes, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, those type of plants. Anything past that, the tomatoes, all that, you don't want to get in the ground quite yet.
So those come after Mother's Day.
Yes.
Mother's Day is kind of like the magical time
Yeah,
there.
I've tried to go in early and that frost gets me every year.
Now, is there anything special that you're doing with the soil right now for these plants or these vegetables compared to later on?
Yeah, gardening, you could plant the seeds and you will get some growth, but really you need to pay attention to the pH of your soil, and there's ways that you can change the pH. A lot of people do composting, but composting can sometimes throw that pH a little off. You can throw lime on it, you could throw baking powder, but really you just need to know kind of what that pH is to make sure you're going to get the greatest yield out of your garden.
Now, one thing I've noticed over the last few years with this is you've actually become a little calmer.
Well, thank you. Yes, gardening is a big stress reliever for me. Something about being outside, getting your hands dirty, picking those weeds, and then, at the end of the year, too, you get to see the labor of your love. Now, it is sometimes a love-hate relationship. Those weeds, I don't get along with those too well, but usually by the end of the year, I just give up and say they win. But we do a lot of, get a lot of tomatoes, make a lot of salsa. You just get a lot of satisfaction from it.
I've been reading a lot about philosophers, and philosophers are talking about how philosophy and gardening are kind of meshing together in what they call a balanced good life from being able to do everything. It's kind of fascinating.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the millennials are jumping on board with this. They are getting into gardening because they want to have that good, clean fruit or vegetables that they can just put, go pick at the garden, put on the dinner table that night.
Another thing that not only millennials, but a lot of people are getting into are the new homes that we have in the areas that we're building right now. We got 3 main areas when we're talking about the northwest side of Allen County. We're talking about the Quarry, Willow Ridge, and Brownstone Manor. The Quarry has got a beautiful 2,000 square foot plus ranch home, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, sunroom. And this thing's gorgeous. Go down the street a little bit to Willow Ridge. We have multiple houses, multiple floor plans, some 4-bedroom, some 3-bedroom. 300,000 plus in that kind of area. And in Brownstone Manor, we have multiple homes available right now. Plus, we have brand new lots that were just put in right now for this extravaganza.
Yeah, and Tony, when I was down at the International Builder Show, they talked about wellness. That was the big buzzword down there. Now, we tied that into our homes, but gardening goes right in line with that. So I encourage anybody to pick up gardening because it's a fantastic hobby.
I think the wood grain in this lamp and those art pieces are perfect for this house and the staging.
It is perfect. Now, trees are not only important in our business when it comes to the construction of the home, it's important inside because they provide warmth and natural beauty inside our homes as well.
They really do. One of the fastest growing trends right now is trimscaping. And to get that trimscaping, you need all sorts of types of trees and wood to really bring it all together. I think in this house alone, we have knotty alder, knotty hickory, we have maple maple wood. We have, I mean, really, I could probably name 10 different species of wood to bring all the trimscaping together in this house. And that means we need a variety of trees. And it's really important as designers to know what ones go with what and how they stain. That's a really big feature, is how the wood takes stain to bring out the aesthetic beauty in all of it.
Well, when you're heading out on this tour this weekend, there are 2 houses you do not want to miss. The first one, they're both in Leo. The first one is in Tullymore Run. This is on Letter Brick Run. This home is gorgeous, and I think it features just about every species of wood you can think of and has just about everything in it, from the front door to the beams to the cabinets, Kayla.
Everything. We really put an emphasis on trimscaping in this home, from painted to stained woodwork. It is everywhere. You have the floating shelves. I mean, it is all gorgeous. Not to mention the 6,000 square feet of outdoor living to really enhance the beauty of this home.
Yeah, this home has all the latest trends, so you won't want to miss this, from pet showers to indoor wine grottos on the main level. And then next on the tour, come out to Lakes of Leo Creek. We have a really pretty craftsman-inspired home out here. Warm wood tones once again. A lot of new trends in this home as well.
I love the built-ins. We have some really great beam work, some built-ins, floating shelves, shiplap everywhere in this home. We have a great cozy nook, and not to mention barn doors, and just everywhere. Everywhere you look is a great feature for anybody's home to be able to mimic, or even this home itself come out. I love it so much.
And while you're out at these homes, there are others in these communities, so there's a lot to see on these 2 stops.
Now, Elizabeth, those reasons that we have said so far are definitely enough to come out, but don't forget, you really want to come out because we have so many awesome giveaways. We have seed packets, we have bulbs to start. We even are going to give away a grand prize of a tree, so don't forget to come out, see all these trimscaping features, to see all the trees and woodwork that we've put into these homes, but you have a little special treat to leave with as well.
All right, Mike, so we get to talk about landscaping, which could possibly be one of the most underappreciated parts of, building a house, but with one of the greatest impacts on how that house feels to the person living there.
Yeah, Luke, there's a lot of studies that say you can add 14 to 20% of resale value just by adding a nice landscape package to the front of your home.
Right. Now, there's some rule of thumbs when it comes to landscaping. Now, you're dealing with landscaping every day. So when you're looking at maybe going to Lowe's or Menards or your local nursery and you're buying some landscaping for your house, what's the general rule of thumb of how many plants that you should be looking at? Is it 4? Is it 3? Is it 5?
Yeah, so the biggest rule of thumb is go by 3s, but if you can't go by 3s, go by odd numbers. Odd numbers are kind of a natural thing. There's no uniform in nature. So those 3s and odd numbers really look well and they catch your eye and they're pleasing to the eye.
Yeah. Now, with the landscaping, we're talking about 2 of our areas on this tour. The Villas of Forest of Foxwood and then also Saddle Creek, but the Saddle Creek part is also a villa. So both of these locations, the landscaping and the irrigation, all that is taken care of by a second party. So you could sit back and relax and just enjoy it.
Right, yeah, it's one of those stress-free living things where your yard is maintained, your landscaping is maintained, and you don't have to break your back to do it.
Right. The main model in Villas of Forest of Foxwood has a really impressive landscape package. That's one of the first things you're gonna notice when you pull up to that house.
Yeah, it's a great example of how you can fit a large landscape package, and it's elegant, it's pretty in a smaller yard. It's got a limited square footage in the front yard, and they fill it out beautifully there.
Right, and that's one of our hottest models right now. And inside is more of that farm style that's really, like I said, popular. Everybody's looking for that. So that's a great stop on this tour.
Yeah, and look, we're seeing a lot of trends towards outdoor living. We're really hot on verandas and making sure that people, when they get off of work, they can come home and experience nature.
Right. They say one of the best stress relievers from coming home from work is enjoying the outdoor elements, whether that be the landscaping package or the trees, or in this case, we got a beautiful pond that we're looking over here. And that's why we're seeing more and more people want that veranda, because they come home, they just, de-stress, sit and relax and just take all that pressure off and just enjoy that natural scenery.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling a little stressed right now. Maybe we should try out these chairs.
Let's
take a look at the pond here.
One of the fastest growing trends in 2022 is the indoor herb garden.
You're right, Tony. And herbs are very easy to grow. That's one reason they're so popular. And they're great to use in your cooking. So a dry herb, for example, is something you'd use in your cooking, and you'd put that in right away because it's going to take a while to draw out that flavor. Some examples of these are thyme, rosemary. I know we all use those when we cook. And then a fresh herb is something you'll add towards the end, and that just is there to enhance the flavor.
And we're seeing these herbs just grown in the kitchens. That's why the open shelving has become very popular lately. And you're literally just reaching over, grabbing a part of it, and throwing it directly into whatever you're cooking.
And these have many health benefits. So a lot of herbs are really great for your heart. And I know we're all into our health. So not only are they beautiful to have on the shelf, they're good for your health as well.
Also beautiful right now are the homes that we have out in Grayson Heights for this 2022 new home tour extravaganza.
We're excited. Actually, right now we are in the model home in Grayson Heights, which will be on the tour, along with several other homes that are available for sale. There's so much to see out here. This home is really unique, though. You're not going to see anything like it on the tour.
This home has something for everyone. This is one of the homes that you can come back to 1 or 2 times and still not see it all. You gotta come on, we could tell them, it's got a Texas basement. This thing is one of the most unique things to see here in Allen County.
Now, Grayson Heights is Northwest Allen County Schools, and it may not be on all of your maps, so visit graniteridgebuilders.com for directions. There's a pin on there. If you press that pin, it'll lead you right here. Grayson Heights is off of Tonkel Road, and it's an Auburn address, but this is Allen County, so don't be fooled by the location.
Not only is there this house, we have 2 other ranch homes, we have a home with basement, we have a large, wide variety of places here in Grayson Heights.
So come out and visit us this weekend from 1 to 5, the Granite Ridge Builders New Home Extravaganza.
You know, Mike, one of the hot trends today are what we call raised beds. Let's describe what a raised bed is as it relates to gardening.
Yeah, so a raised bed is essentially a garden that you've built up higher. So it can be made out of wood, it can be made out of metal. What they'll do is they'll put like a weed barrier down on the bottom. You'll put some stone in so that way there's some drainage. Then you put your soil in, and then you can plant your garden and it's up off the ground.
And I know they've got kits now that you can buy. You can make your own raised beds like we did about 3 years ago at our house. And one of the things about a raised bed that I really like is instead of me reaching down all the way to the ground, I can reach up to the raised bed, which is 8 inches or so.
Save your back a little bit.
Save my back, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so it really is a clean look. It changes up the traditional garden a little bit and makes more straight lines and everything like that. So in a lot of these subdivisions, when you're dealing with homeowners associations and things like that, the raised bed is the way to go if you have rules in your subdivision where you can't have a garden. So that's a clean look, the neighbors enjoy it and everything like that, and then you know where the things that you were growing is coming from.
Right, and I've also noticed that you can control your weeds. I should say my wife can control the weeds a lot better on those raised beds. Oops.
Yeah, Connie's gonna love that one. So, but the way that people are using these beds, they're using them just like they would a vegetable garden, and they're also using them as flower gardens as well.
Beautiful flower gardens, right. There's a lot of variety there. I love raised beds, and speaking of raised beds and beautiful gardens and landscaping, how about the subdivisions that we have on this tour?
Yeah, so for our Northwest Ohio fans out there, let's talk about Van Wert. We have a subdivision called The Landing at Dickinson Farms in Van Wert, Ohio. It's a 30-minute drive from Fort Wayne. It's a beautiful subdivision that we have out there. A giant pond out there.
It's a lake, Mike, it's a lake.
You could jet ski on that lake, that's how big it is. So it's a beautiful subdivision, some of the most affordable lots that you can find out there, big spacious lots.
Right, and then we also go over to Columbia City and we have Cambridge Crossings over there, and we've got a great variety of lots and homes priced from the 300 to 500 range, a great place, some walkout lots, beautiful lots with trees in the back, I might add.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of that nature that you get, you come home from work stressed out, you walk out there and you're like, all right, let's relax.
Get to that raised garden, yes.
Yeah.
Granite Ridge Builders invites you to the Spring New Home Extravaganza. We have over 12 locations, 30 homes available on this tour.
And as I understand it, Elizabeth, we have 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom homes. We have some homes with 3-car garages, and they're actually under construction or complete, and they're actually for sale.
They're for sale. It is this Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5, a free event by Granite Ridge Builders, the New Home Extravaganza. Visit our website, graniteridgebuilders.com, for more information.
I hope you found this interesting. We really found it fascinating when we were doing studies. What did you guys find really interesting today that would help our audience? I know I did one. One is the most popular trend indoors is herb gardens. I mean, we've got a lot of floating shelves. We're putting a lot of those herbs on there, but it's amazing how many spices and herbs that you can grow and use them daily, and they're fresh.
Guys, one of the biggest takeaways for me today was not only is landscaping beautiful for the front of your house, but it adds so much curb appeal. It can add up to 14% to your value of your house.
Wow, that's $20,000 or $30,000.
Yeah.
Now, what I found interesting that we didn't get to talk about was greenhouses. Greenhouses started because Emperor Tiberius wanted to have a cucumber a day to preserve his health.
What?
And so they had to figure out a way to do it, and scientists had to come up with the greenhouse just to get him his cucumber every day.
They're good, but I'm not sure they're that good. Interesting.
And as you look out over your backyard this spring, you're probably going to see lots of dandelions, and that is not a native problem, actually. That was brought over from Europe. And when we found out, though, that it grew well here, and it was used because it had lots of vitamins and minerals. People would use it for wine and teas. And actually, one of my grandmothers used to put some in her salad. So it's just a great source of vitamins and minerals, and that's why they're everywhere now.
You know, my grandfather said it had vitamin A, C, potassium, kept going on, and he would put it in, roast it, and do all kinds of dandelions.
Yeah.
Now, guys, it's said I'm a gardener, and if you're watching this show and all of a sudden you feel like, man, I think I want to get into this gardening because it is one of the fastest growing hobbies in the United States, it's not too late, but you should be getting some of the plants in the ground now. Now, a couple of things with gardening. Americans spend over $4 billion just in gardening food for their garden. So that's a lot of money. It's a big industry. Now, I've never tried this, but they say if you play classical music to your garden, it'll produce better fruit. Like I said, I've never tried that one. Maybe I'll give it a try this year.
What happens with heavy metal?
It withers away.
Your neighbors will complain.
Well, flowers are not only beautiful, they also help with your emotions. I know they lift my spirits. I can't wait for spring. But they also are proven to cure medical diseases as well. And I know that even in my household, we have experience with that.
Another thing that's fantastic for your health when it comes to gardening and taking care of your landscaping, ready for this? Weeding for 1 hour will burn 300 calories.
Wow.
Which is the same as walking or biking. And then if you're feeling really ambitious, Luke, if you mow your yard, hand mow your yard for 1 hour, it's 500 calories burnt, the same as playing tennis.
Wow. And guys, I'm encouraged today. Again, the subject is trees. I found out, because as I get older, this becomes more important, that trees do not die of old age. Wow. Elements may take them down, but not old age. I got something to look forward to.
Okay, guys, time's running out. Kayla, would you go ahead and close for us?
Thank you all so much for joining us today. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do so well, please pick up the phone and give us a call. Visit our website, or even better yet, come into any of our 12 locations on this tour. Visit our 30 homes. We would love to see you out here this weekend.
And we definitely want to see you guys grow with Granite Ridge Builders like the other 8,000. Guys, do not leave yet. We got to clean up a mess here.
Tree.
In fact, we got a lot of planting.
I'm going to go try your experiment with the tree.
Have fun cleaning up.
Come back and see me in 30 years.
And do you know that trees, if they're planted correctly, can stop you? Oh, jeez.
Can
Stop you in your
Can
tracks.
we
We're celebrating the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day, and I'm super excited about talking. I heard the crunch and then it
Is the inside herb garden.
Herbs are very popular. After I did the watering can,
I had no idea what you were doing behind me. I was looking